Hello, hello, hello. This is Adelai Brown, your heart coach. And I just wanted to jump on today really quick and share some heart talk with you guys. Have a little heart talk. I'm out doing some real estate and I just left one of my clients who's an investor. And, I was just thinking, and I get on and I talk a lot about hard work, but today I wanted to talk a little bit about real estate. I know that with everything going on in the world, it's really scary. It's really frustrating for many people, and you really don't know what to do. So if you're a renter or you're someone that's been looking into getting into investing, and you want to purchase a property, you don't know if now is a good time. I say yes. I feel like it's always a good time to buy a property. And I don't just say that as a licensed real estate agent. I say that as an individual everybody who I have studied that has amassed some type of wealth, almost always, I'll say at least, someone just hit flying on the road, at least like 85-90% of the time, a part of that wealth was accumulated with something dealing with real estate. So I just want to encourage you, wherever you are and whatever may be going on in your life right now, like move forward with purchasing that property. Get your credit together. You do not have to like clean up everything on your credit to purchase a property. That's the first thing I want to highlight. If you are someone, whether you buying your first property or if you want to get into getting into investing, maybe you want to buy a multifamily property and live in one and rent out the other ones. The first thing I want to encourage you to do is make sure that you're paying all your bills on time. Just pay all your bills on time. Anything that's reporting on your credit, any type of bills that you have, pay them on time. When I say on time, I mean no more than 30 days late. Make sure that you are paying your bills on time. Another thing you want to do that I think has been, in my experience, this has been like the major thing that slows people down from getting property or hinders them from getting a property is accumulating too much debt. So if you want to buy a property, whether it's your first time buying a property or whether you want to be an investor, you want to make sure you minimize your debt. So you want to make sure that I guess you are nobody, right? Anyways, you want to make sure that you're minimizing your debt, and therefore that will make you more able to get approved for the type of financing that you want to have so that you can purchase the property, right? Because y'all know me, I'm Adelai Brown, your heart coach, and we grow heart equity, personal, relational, and financial wealth through authentic living. And one of the ways that I grow financial wealth is through real estate. If you may or may not know, I'm a licensed real estate agent. I've been a realtor for over 5 years now. And so I just left one of my investor clients with getting ready to put a property on the market, getting another property ready to go on the market. And, when I talk about doing hard work, one of the things that I have realized more than ever is that so much of people growing wealth is tied to their emotional state. So much of people growing wealth is tied to what you think about yourself. So when I get on here and I'm talking about how you need to heal and you need to tell the truth, in my experience, that is directly related to how much money you're going to have in the bank or how much you're going to be able to enjoy that money that you have in the bank. So, one, you want to make sure you paying all your bills on time. If you want to grow financial wealth, hard equity, right? You want to be paying your bills on time. The other thing that I was just saying that I feel like really holds people back is that you want to make sure that you keep your debt down. So let me tell you what this looks like. If you have a $500 credit card, you shouldn't ever be using more than $90 on that card. It should never be carrying over more than $90 on that card. Is it 90 for 500 or is it 90 for 300? Either way, $90, right? Do not um don't max out your credit cards, right? If you have a line of credit, keep those balances low. Like, do not use up all the credit that you have access to. Why? Because when it's time for you to get approved for funding, you go to a mortgage company, you go to a bank, you go to some type of private lender. When it's time for you to get approved for that, one of the biggest things they're looking at is what they call DTI. What is your debt to income ratio? So you want to make sure that you're keeping your debt down. Stop maxing out your cards. Stop getting all that Uber Eats and all that eating out and paying for upgrades online. And like, no, let's not do that. We are growing heart equity, personal, relational, financial wealth through authentic living. And one of the ways that we authentically live is making sure that we are in spaces that we are comfortable in. I used to be on housing. I lived on the projects, the PJs, not the private jets, the PJs, the projects, right? Affordable housing in the middle of downtown Charleston. Where I used to live, they call it under the bridge. I used to live under the bridge. The bridge doesn't even exist anymore, but I used to live in the projects under the bridge. I went from living in the projects under the bridge to getting Section 8. I went from living in the project to under the bridge to getting Section 8. I got kicked off of my Section 8. I still don't know why. 20 years later, I still mad about the fact that they kicked me off Section 8 for no reason. Like no reason whatsoever. So I went from being on Section 8, got kicked off Section 8, so then I had to start paying straight rent. And when you come from a background where everybody on housing or Section 8, you understand when I say I gotta pay straight rent. So I did that for about 8 years. And then I went from renting and we bought a house in 2012. And so I've been a homeowner since 2012. And now I have two properties. And I'm also a licensed real estate agent. And I'm really passionate about growing heart equity with my clients. And we do that via real estate. That's a part of the financial wealth. I also help people with business development. I'm helping a real estate investor grow his business right now on the real estate side with getting property, but also helping them on the business development side. So, what am I saying? I'm saying that I just want to show you that there are many things that are contributed to you living your best life. When you hear me get on here and talk about growing heart equity, I'm talking about us living better personally, your relationship with you and God, that vertical relationship, and then the horizontal relationships in your life. Because the truth of the matter is, if you're going to live in this world, you need money. But a lot of times you get money in different ways and from different places. And so I just want to encourage you. If you someone, you see everything going on in the government, you hear people talking about the interest rates and stuff. Let me tell you something. Interest rates ain't going down much more than what they already are. If you are currently renting, you are paying 100% interest rate because you don't get any of that money back when you pay that rent. You paying somebody else's mortgage. I work with my clients to help them get their lives in order so that they can start to build wealth and grow heart equity in every area, personally, relationally, and financially. So I always have people thinking, I'm not ready to get my house and I don't have enough money. Man, listen, I just talked to a lender the other day. He closed on a house with somebody that had a credit score of like 520. But guess what? They had their debt down and they had paid some payments on time, even though they had some other issues going on with their even though they had some other issues going on with their credit, they were able to get a property, right? So let's make sure that you're paying your bills on time, right? Let's make sure that you're keeping your debt down. If you got $1,000 card, a credit limit, don't use more than $200 on it at any given time. And if you do, make sure you pay it off. If you don't have the cash to pay for what you're using your credit card for, don't use it. Don't use it. Don't accumulate that debt. It's just a burden, right? So these are ways that we grow heart equity. This is how we grow financial wealth. One of them, like I said, is through real estate. So pay your bills on time, pay your credit balances down, get your balances down, and get yourself on a budget. Get yourself on a budget. Because I can promise you, like we don't like, oh goodness, we do not like budgets. We don't like to be disciplined, but I can promise you, when you discipline yourself like that, when you really like lock in, like you're gonna be surprised at what you were able to do. When I was on housing as an 18-year-old mom, I didn't even think I could own a house. I never thought I was gonna be able to own a house. When I got kicked off my Section 8, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was young. I had just found out I was pregnant with my third child, and it just was like with our third baby, and it was just like I didn't know what was going on. But now being a homeowner for over 10 years, over a decade, I know anybody can do it. People always think, well, other people doing it and I can't do it. And I always tell them, we got to work through your insecurities. You think something about this home buying process that is no longer serving you. And once we work through that, we can work through your issues. You have never been good at managing your money. You got to be honest and get somebody to help you. You afraid, you embarrassed of the decisions you made financially. It's okay. You can right any wrong. You just got to be willing to lock in and do it. Okay? All right, y'all do me a favor. Like this video, share with anyone you know that might be wanting to buy a house, been thinking about buying a house, and just stay connected. Stay in the Heart Tribe, subscribe to the channel. Let's continue to grow together. And leave me a comment, y'all. I'm out in the country, so I'm going to get off because my service might be bad. And leave me any comments, any questions that you might have, videos you want me to do, different topics. I'm here. Remember, we are growing heart equity, personal, relational, financial wealth through authentic living. Because when you heal your heart, you transform your life. I love y'all. Have a great day.